All right, everyone. Looks like we're officially live. I'm going to wait for people to hop on. You should be getting your notifications now, hopefully, if you've subscribed to the channel. And I'm asked to receive notifications. That's the only way to do it. So I'm going to give a couple minutes and say hello to people. If you could hear me okay, let me know in the chat room. This is going to be a really fun live stream that we have set for this one. So this one's going to be featuring Mission Darkness, which is a company that makes Faraday bags. Hello, Ronnie. Ronnie. Welcome to the live stream. So I feature them in a few of my different videos lately over the past year. I've been using their products for actually a couple years now, where they're basically little Faraday bags. So in the preparedness community, it's very popular to have a Faraday cage, for example. A lot of people make them themselves using a metal box, basically, to help protect their electronic devices from being affected from EMPs or things like that. So there's a lot of different companies out there that make a Faraday bags, this kind of style, but oftentimes it looks almost like a Mylar bag, like what you would use for your emergency food storage. And what I found in the testing that I've done, I've oftentimes punctured those bags. So they weren't as durable as what I was looking for. And then I eventually, after doing a lot of searches, came across the company Mission Darkness, and their Faraday bags are super solid, and they come in a lot of different sizes. And I have a few of them. I've been buying them over the years. This one's for a laptop size, and this is more for like a cell phone or a small tablet. And these ones have a very, very strong construction, and then an inner, the protective layer is located on the inside. So I posted a video recently on my EDC backpack, and I had a lot of different Mission Faraday bags in there, and I also did a dedicated video on it because it was stuff that I bought and purchased and liked. Hello, Tom. Hello, Nate. Hello, Alvaro. And so I liked all of those things. And then Mission Darkness, they saw the video. They liked the video, it sounds like. So then we got in contact to say hello with everything. Nate, glad you're a huge fan. So it was really cool. So we got in contact, and now we're going to be talking live about Faraday bags, and we're going to be talking with the president of Mission Darkness, and his name's Ryan. So without further ado, let's get started and bring Ryan on the live stream. So hey, Ryan, welcome to the live stream.
Hey, thank you for having me. Appreciate it. Happy to be here. Happy to talk with your audience. This will be fun. So
yeah, this is going to be a blast. Ryan has if you can see over there, he has a lot of swag in the background with a lot of Mission Darkness items over there. Not only bags and sleeves, but also hats and all sorts of stuff over there. Maybe a Mission Darkness underwear line. We don't know. We're going to talk about all of these things in the live stream. We're getting there. So it looks like people are joining in the live stream. Hello to everyone. Hello, John. Hello, Nate. Hello, MacGyver. MacGyver, you're one of my favorite channels and probably the best prepper around. So we're going to go through a few different questions, and then we'll take stuff from the chat room as well. So if you have questions in the chat room, put them there, and I'll try to get to them during this stream. But this should be a fun one. So I thought maybe to start it off, Ryan, is maybe we could talk a little bit about the history of Mission Darkness as far as I know the products, but I don't know the history about it and your history with the company. So maybe we could start off there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right away, you're blowing up with comments here. This is great. So
cool.
People really active. I think we're going to have to get answering some of these later. So
yeah, we will. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Kind of in a nutshell, my experience comes from more of an industry related to security, law enforcement, sort of the and military side of Faraday shielding and what that is. So that generally relates to investigations where you may want to take a bad guy's cell phone, put it inside of a shielded container to block radio communications because that cell phone is going to end up in a court case, or it's for a military operative who's going to be tracked on that phone. That's a lot of the foundation of these products. I have about, I think around over 10 years of experience starting primarily in there, and created this company, came out of a different company that did that, created this company about 5 years ago, thinking, okay, we'll sell to military law enforcement and primarily just some simple bags, kind of like the ones that you showed.
Yeah.
And over time, what's happened is the need for security for executives, for individuals, the need for privacy, for health concerns, EMP, like we're here talking about, those have all just exploded. They've become extremely important and prevalent in every aspect at the same rate of growth that mobile device proliferation has occurred. So we've just now found ourselves in this mode of like, we never would have made a beanie before with shielding inside. That was just out there. But so many people have asked us for products like that we started selling materials and tapes and stuff. We can get into that, but so many people asked us that we had to get there, and it's been really fun seeing these solutions that we've created. We're trying to do it as best as we can, create really high quality products. There's a lot of junk out there, and I want to, obviously we got products, but there's a lot of like interesting kind of the why and the how and the theory and stuff behind it that we're going to talk about. But I would just say that our customers and the general public have led us into this range of products that we sell now, and it's been really fun. So
yeah, that's awesome. So it sounds like that inner layer that we'll talk about in this particular stream could be molded to all sorts of different shapes and sizes, and could be used not only for hats and bags and sleeves, but you name it. So I think again, for those of you that are watching, I highly recommend the Mission Darkness bags specifically, because they're all the things that you listed. They're super durable. And when I was researching it, I saw that this is something that seemed to originate from being used with law enforcement. So I knew that they were going to be pretty rock solid. So I see a few different comments coming in now. We're going to get to those comments, but let's keep going through. As far as for prepping, I've included these Mission Darkness bags in my prepping kits because I'm concerned about tracking and all those kind of things. Well, I understand why companies do that as far as they want to do targeted ads. It still kind of creeps me out a little bit. And so that's why I started to do it. But it seems like there's a lot of different applications of use for the whole realm of emergency preparedness, like what my channel is as far as protecting ham radios, or if you're concerned about kind of tracking and all those kind of things, you can protect that. We even talked a little bit offline about protecting your drones if you want to use your drones for emergency prepared purposes. Are you seeing more and more kind of people that are interested in the prepping side of things come to Mission Darkness recently, especially with everything going now?
Oh, it's been incredible. It's been something that we sold products for before. We would say, okay, sure, you could use this product for covering your radios, but we kind of just we did that every once in a while. Now it's become a really important category for us, and it's grown immensely. There's so much. I mean, obviously, this is kind of the basis of what you're talking about in your show. So I have to figure out how you want to fit in this whole conversation, because it's really broad. I mean, the applications for it, the different categories of what can happen. It's been a learning process for us too, because we didn't start there, but we've adapted a lot of our products. We've had them tested by labs to make sure that they actually do what they say they will, and that's a really big piece of it. We've had times when we've tested a product and they won't function correctly. So we have to go back. We have to redevelop it, add different layers, different combinations of materials, ways to construct them. And that's extremely important. We always want our products to work well, to actually do what they're supposed to do. Because if it gets down to it and they don't, and you bought this $500, $1,000 bag thinking it's going to protect your generator or your Goal Zero battery, or who we partner with, by the way, we add a bag to one of their batteries, and then it actually fails, where all of the gear inside that you thought was protected, the foundation of your go bag, your bug out bag, that's all annihilated, right? So the kind of generally, I don't know how much you want to get into talking about like the effects of EMPs in relation to the Faraday, the theory side of it, not in the weeds, but that's kind of where you want to go a little bit, right? To talk about how these actually work.
Yeah, I definitely think that's probably a popular topic in prepping, as people that are into prepping, we're concerned about all sorts of things. And I know that EMPs and solar flares and CMEs and things like that are kind of like the boogeyman of preppers, but there still is a big portion of the people that are into emergency preparedness that have valid concerns for those, even though we might not have gone through a solar flare or something like that has affected our electronic devices. But yeah, I think as far as if you take a modular approach to your gear for your bug out bags or for your get home bags or your EDC bags, having these style of Mission Darkness bags really works well, and as you could even do fancy labeling for them. So I think they have a lot of applications of use for people that are preppers. I thought we could do a couple little quick questions just to get them out now. I saw that Derek was asking, can 2 phones be placed in the bag? And yes, Derek, 2 phones can be placed in the bag. Here's one bag. Here's a phone. Here's another phone. Is whatever you could fit in it, and you seal it up, that's going to basically be good. Is that right, Ryan?
Yeah. I mean, we have a ton of different sizes. We have a bunch of different versions for different things. I just to kind of go back, because prepping being the basis of this audience, and the level of understanding of EMPs maybe being advanced for some who have read about it, researched it, and really basic for others. I can just touch a little bit on what we've learned and what we've tested towards, if that's okay.
So I have a topic here for EMPs, EMFs, CMEs, solar flares. So, and the audience that's going to be here, we're all into these type of topics. So yeah, just fire away, and there'll be some.
So yeah. Okay, so on the EMP side of things, from what we read about, what we understand, and what we talk to government and military about, who are also very concerned with these things, with EMPs, primarily as a large kind of, we'd say, national concern, our military. The actual foundation of the frequencies that can occur are from really low megahertz. There's a lot of different things that can generate EMPs. A high altitude electromagnetic pulses from a nuclear weapon is usually kind of like the core concern. Other types of equipment can generate a pulse. Even a small briefcase-sized piece of equipment could generate enough of a pulse to disrupt electronics. But a high altitude, sorry, were you going to say something?
Oh no, I'm just going through some of the chat rooms as they're going. Yeah.
So a nuclear weapon detonated hundreds of miles above the Earth can essentially knock out all the electronics in the United States. Okay, so our government is highly concerned with this because electronics are not hardened in general. If, for example, something as basic as, we think about computers and cell phones and communications, but if stoplights go down, if the foundation of our movements and our society are disrupted, people don't die instantly, right? But there's projections like 90% of humanity it could be fatal to 90% of humanity within a short period of time because we rely on all these electronics for our existence. So what the government has come to us about in different capacities are a lot of times related to individual like man packs of sat phones, equipment to block an EMP from disrupting a satellite phone. These sat phones may be in different locations across the US. They're built in sort of a mesh network fashion. Those are integral to communications infrastructure with our government, with our military. That's just one aspect, communications. There's others that are integral to different aspects, but that kind of tends to be sort of a foundational one. So we see that in the prepper community as well. We see the need to put communications equipment, radios, computers, batteries, not so much, anything with a circuit, right? Yeah. A lot of people will put car components, although I kind of argue that cars, people say older cars don't need shielding protection. Really, if anything that has a PCB, a circuit inside, the theory behind an electromagnetic pulse is it can fill the air with so much ionized radiation that it can essentially cross circuits, create a short in that circuit, and damage the circuit. So older cars have fuses and circuits and things like that. So you really want to be considerate of what it is you want to protect. Anything with a circuit is vulnerable, and things that you may not think have them do. And then those are what you're going to want to place inside. So power is a big one too. Generators, we sell a lot of generator covers. Those are for anything from kind of the smaller Honda generators. I think it's a 3000 maybe. They have a few different models. We have a bag called our Revelation EMP bag, which I don't know if we have here, but we have this one. This is called the T10 bag. We do a partnership with Goal Zero. I bet a lot of your viewers know Goal Zero.
They definitely do.
Yeah, we do a partnership where they co-brand it and they call it a different name. But this bag is great because you can put that size of battery generator in it, and then we have a solar panel bag for placing solar panels in, and then the Revelation bag for generators, and an even bigger one, which we came out with a few months ago, called the Rapture bag, and that's waterproof. It's huge. You could fit a pretty big generator in it. So that's a lot of the thinking right now. Solar panels, generators, communications equipment. What am I missing? Anything? Yeah.
Sounds like all sorts of good stuff. Yeah. So I saw some people in the comment were asking about the website. Let me put the website up really quick. So if you go over to MOS equipment. They have all the products over there, and it's a humongous product line. So one of the questions I had for later on, we could probably talk about, I think you already answered it now. So basically a company like a generator company could reach out to Mission Darkness and have a customized, like Honda, for example, could have a customized Honda Faraday bag made by Mission Darkness that would fit like a nice fit for their particular bag, or they could go with one of the ones that is more of a universal size, right?
Yeah, so we do some of those partnerships. Generally like the larger companies like Honda, they have a lot of priorities, and this doesn't hit their radar because they want to sell generators, right? But we are seeing an interesting kind of shift towards some of those partnerships of companies who've been asked for this a lot, and then they're saying, okay, look, we need to provide something to go along with our equipment, solar panels and such. So one thing, this is just interesting, just in some research, you come across reports like this. This is from Division of Environmental Health, Office of Radiation Protection, Washington State Department of Health,
Cool.
on the effects of an electromagnetic pulse. It's kind of a brief. You see this all over. It's a large sort of governmental concern. It doesn't, there's really no consolidated large-scale solutions. You're getting a lot of individual kind of hardening efforts towards individual things like generators and such and sat phones. But yeah, if you search EMP, you'll find a lot of that, a lot of interesting studies out there.
Yeah, on a previous stream that we did a couple of months ago, it was with a company called EMP Shield, which makes a device that kind of like a surge protector for your home and for your vehicles and stuff for EMPs. And so the audience that's watching now, we've recently covered the EMPs and the different phases of them in pretty good detail. So, and I think a lot of people have concerns about it. I myself, for a lot of the prepping gear that I have now, I have radios in Mission Darkness bags. I have various electronic devices. You talked about kind of the mesh networking for military. I have the Go10 mesh, which is a communication device that's consumer grade, and I have about 8 of those for mesh networking for like in an emergency situation. I have them all stored in this kind of bag. But what you guys are offering, and I saw in the chat room already, as far as offering like a duffel bag or a bag style, is kind of a game changer. I feel that you're able to now have a bag that the whole thing is basically a Faraday bag that's portable, so you don't have to lug around a big metal box like what you might have had to 10 years ago before all these kind of things were around.
Yeah, we do a lot of that. We have like this is a padded utility bag. So on the inside of here, it just looks like a padded bag that you might put ammo in or equipment or something, but then you have this layer on the inside that's fully designed for this size of bag, and this is the shielded liner. It stands up a bit here. The shielded liner closes in a certain way, folds, and then you have some compartments in here. This actually took us quite a while to get right. Faraday shielding is not extremely intuitive as a sewing manufacturer, a company that makes bags. It's a little bit difficult. It takes intense focus on the materials, the techniques to really get it right, and that's why you'll find a lot of what's out there that you can just buy on Amazon that's kind of cheap, may not actually function correctly. So you definitely want to test everything you buy. There is some good stuff out there that's more economical that may work, but you want to test it. You want to make sure it's doing what it says it does, and it's hard. We do lab testing for a couple different things. One is MIL standard 188, 125, and this is a MIL standard that relates directly to high altitude EMP protection. It's really difficult to simulate an EMP in a lab, right? Yeah. They do the very best they can. There's only a few labs that actually test towards it, and we've had a lot of stuff tested to that. Our tapes and fabrics and a lot of our materials, which preppers will use to build boxes. We have some DIY videos if you want to look it up, to build boxes and enclosures themselves for protection against EMPs. So just make sure whatever you find is tested.
Yeah, very cool. So, and I have one of the larger bags too that I'm working on a video now because I like all the products and I'm using it for a lot of the preppers out there have these kind of like a Goal Zero, but this one's an Energy Kodiak. This one's a few years old, but being able to store that with all the cables in addition to other comm supplies. I have mine. I color code all my stuff for my prepping stuff. So this one's yellow because it's comms. Cool. It's for comms, but it's previously I was storing it in a big box, and didn't apply itself well if you needed to bug out, for example, and I didn't want to lug around this big box like this. So again, it's a super sweet product. I saw that someone had a question here with regard to the mil-spec testing that you've done. So it says, what's the difference between military standard your bags have versus U.S. military specification? And then that big long thing. I don't know if you have that. Know that one offhand.
I'm gonna go ahead and say I don't know. I don't know that mil standard. I have not seen that before. So that may be one that relates. There's a few that relate to this category of testing and of theory. 188, 125, I do know is there's only a few, right? 188, 125 is largely accepted by the military as sort of one of the standards that they try to look at. Some of them relate to like electronics equipment, hardening, different circuit boards, and power equipment, things like that. So I'm not sure, that may relate to one of them. But
okay, cool. I thought we could do a couple little rapid fire random questions really quick just off of the chat room, and then we could go to some of the other topics that we had planned for this one. So I saw there's a couple interesting ones. Let's see, this one, I'll just go right off the bat here. This is from Gomar Hike. Hello, which product of Mission Darkness is your favorite? Which one do you think I should buy first? The one that I bought first is more of like the cell phone one, because I was concerned about cell phone tracking, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later as far as the tracking of your GPS location. And so, this is the first one I bought, and I bought 3 of them. And so I have them in all the cars, and I have them in my bags too. And I could verify that they definitely work, even if you put from my understanding, and you could probably confirm too, Ryan, is when you're playing as an airplane mode, it's not like you still can't be, your GPS coordinates can't be tracked. I've seen you could go on YouTube and look on videos where they show, hey, here's all the places that you went while your phone was in airplane mode or off.
Yeah, with just on that, because we sell to law enforcement, forensic investigators, and military, their biggest concern is making sure that evidence that ends up in being scrutinized or investigated is not altered. Things like airplane mode are a nightmare, because you can turn on airplane mode and then individually turn off Wi-Fi or cell, Bluetooth. So because of that, there's a lot going on. It doesn't always work like it seems. And no, it does not mean that the phone is not communicating. There's still data that's being gathered. It may not be communicated, or it may, but there's still data being gathered. So it's kind of a nightmare for security.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, for those that are watching right now, if you're concerned about those kind of things, if you put it on one of their, you're going to be off grid. You're going to be underwater, and until you take that thing out, I've taken it on multiple flights and stuff. And when I put it in there, that's the last place that it knows that I was at. And I've flown down to California pre-COVID and everything, and it still thought I was in Washington at the time. So that definitely works.
Sorry, that's a lot of people say, well, when I take it out, it knows where I am. Yes, right. Of course, if your phone's communicating when it's out in the open air, yes. But anything in between, it's about choosing. Anything in between, you're not going to be tracked. You're not going to be noticed. You're not going to be hacked. That's all a choice of when you want to use it or not. Airports, public places, that's kind of the hacking side. In movements that you just simply you want privacy, that's the choice side of it. So, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, totally. I kind of treat it like the analogy I give is kind of like a whale or a dolphin, where you're coming up for air for your digital content, basically, and then you go back underwater, kind of like a whale would, and at that point, who knows where you're at that.
Feel that if that's okay.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So, a couple of other questions, really quick. Let's see. Someone is asking one for solar panels. I saw that. Now, from my understanding, that for solar panels, that they might not be as affected by an EMP, but is there a size that would work for the solar panel?
Yeah, we do have a solar panel bag. Solar panels have circuits inside, so there's wires and there's circuits, and there's the possibility to have damage from high directed energy, right? So a lot of people will want to protect them. They can fit inside of our Revelation bag, which is that one that's for smaller generators. It's bigger than the T10 here. Or we have a specific solar panel one. It's kind of thinner and longer. So, yeah.
Cool. Got it. Let's go next one. Let's see. There's some just random comments I'm trying to filter over a little bit too. So
while you're looking at that, this one, you talked about the cell phone bag. That's a great one. This is our 15-liter dry bag. This has been extremely popular with prepping because it has this profile, so you can you can see the size of a radio here. You can fit a lot of equipment and it expands out. That's like, I don't have anything to show the perspective, but it's pretty wide. So you can put a computer, you can put phones, radios, a bunch of stuff in here, and then it's waterproof too, and it's about, I think, $100. So this is a really popular one.
That's an awesome one, actually. I like the idea of having something you can just throw everything in. It doesn't have to be all organized, but it's at least protected. And that one's not only protecting from EMPs and everything, but it's also protecting from water. That sounds awesome, actually.
Yeah, that's just, it kind of helps to know what people are buying and what's popular. That's been a really good one. So
yeah, one of the topics that I was hoping we could dive into was on, because I know that you promote about it for EMF protection, and I did a video on EMFs. I find it kind of an interesting topic. I have an EMF meter that I keep by my desk so I can see. You have one too? All right, cool. So I was hoping we could talk about that, because that was one of my most controversial videos, because a lot of people are like, hey, well, these things are non-ionizing, so it's going to do no effect to your DNA or your body or anything like that. Can we talk a little bit about what your thoughts are for why you might want to have some level of EMF protection?
Yeah, so this is such an interesting category because there's so much thought on it now. It used to kind of be just like a forethought. Maybe it was a little bit more of a kooky category of people, the tinfoil hat people.
Yeah.
Now there is so much prevalence of radiation emitting sources around us that there's an immense amount of thought building on, is this safe, right? So it's hard to say either way, because the government, the different testing agencies, individual companies, they will say it's perfectly safe. Cell carriers, the 5G towers around us, no problem. And then individuals or other tests might show, hey, we don't know, or hey, otherwise. Our thinking is we've been asked for so many different types of products, which I can show some, that I know that this is really picking up because of what we're seeing with what we're being asked for. But it's kind of like, okay, on some levels, if it fits into your life and you're concerned about it, why not, right? And if it's reasonable, if you're not, sometimes you can go overboard and things don't fit in your life and you're going overboard. But a lot of this now is like, why not? Why not try, if you're going to buy a blanket, why not try to get one that's shielded? And
nice.
This is a large shielded surface. It's called our radiation shielding throw blanket. It has 2 layers of shielding fabric inside, which has been tested. This does a really great job of blocking EMF, and you can use an EMF meter to test it. I think it's a couple $100 or something, but why not get this for your home? Use it when you feel uncomfortable. If you've got sources around you, that's a lot of the thinking. Hats, the beanie here, right?
Yeah.
This has a fabric that we call Titan RF Flex. There's 2 layers of this. We just got done testing this to IEEE 299 2006. We have some really nice shielding curves. We're getting them up on our website soon, because this is a relatively newer fabric for us. It does a fantastic job of shielding. This is a hat as well. So
nice.
there's a total range of products, right? You don't have to go around everywhere you're at with a hat on if you don't want to, but if you're concerned, this is available. But what you can do is there's smart meters, there's routers. You may have a router near your kids, your baby's crib, right? I have young kids. This is a concern. You can line walls with our fabric, use the tape and adhesives for different areas. This is happening all the time now, and it's sort of the same thing as the choice level with a Faraday bag. You can pick and choose how you want to block certain levels of radiation. And this is a good point probably to mention, not to get too carried away in this, but a lot of people, they call us and they ask the same questions all the time. Question number 1, how do I block my Wi-Fi router?
Yep.
Okay, if you block your Wi-Fi router, you're going to block your Wi-Fi. So your Wi-Fi router is not going to work. So it's like, okay, well then what can I do? Well, you can block a little bit of the directed radiation, you might call it, radiation emitting from a certain area of the router towards something that you want to protect, a child's area. You're at work and you work in an area in IT with a lot of routers. You want to, block yourself in from from the EMF, but it's going to move around and fill spaces. Signal does that. So the more that you block it, the less your router will work, and that's a choice thing. Maybe you want to do it sometimes at night. things like that. So your smart meter, a lot of people are concerned with smart meters.
Yeah.
That can be blocked, all the time. You don't need to access your smart meter, but that's kind of a question is the Wi-Fi router thing.
Yeah, I have for the EMFs, like you mentioned about the tinfoil. I've actually have the book, the non-tinfoil guide to EMFs, and I have this author is coming on in a couple weeks on the live stream to talk about it, just because I find it an interesting topic, and I find that the people that are like, yeah, I think they might have an EMF reader, and they might just want to kind of distance themselves and treat it like secondhand smoke people, like in the 1970s. But I think I'm just going to kind of limit my exposure from it. Just to be on the safe side.
I like to think of it like vitamin C for a cold, right? A lot of studies tell you vitamin C does nothing, right?
Yep.
People will take vitamin C. Sometimes it helps. And, if you're deficient, it certainly can't. So there's like controversy. Can it work or not? It's funny you have a book, because I have this by
look at that.
Circula, EMF. One thing I found was interesting. I'll just read it really quick on ionized radiation.
Yeah.
This is an area that gets into biology. Not my area of expertise, so I read up on it to understand, but it's interesting to note. A lot of, you mentioned that a lot of people will think that non-ionizing radiation, which is the type that's emitted from cell phones, Wi-Fi routers, is not harmful. He says non-ionizing radiation from your wireless devices actually creates carbonyl free radicals instead of the hydroxyl radicals that ionizing radiation gives rise to, that cause virtually identical damage to your nuclear DNA, cell membranes, proteins, mitochondria, and stem cells. That is his opinion from his research. You may take a different stance or this stance, but certainly there's a lot of good resources out there now that are getting, and I have I'm not going to make any money from this guy. It's just something I noticed a lot of our people seem to be reading. So I wanted to pick it up to understand as best I could. And it's just about getting educated. So.
Yeah, I think it's why not? I mean, I try to have my electronics spaced apart a little bit away from me. We try to get them out of the bedrooms. And I know that when I go camping, I know a lot, getting away from all the electronics and the fresh air. I imagine I feel good. I sleep better because of it. A lot of that is probably due to being out in nature, but probably some of it has to do with being away from all the, the Wi-Fi signals and all the other stuff going on. So
I will tell you, we have an immense amount of people who call and say that they have essentially radiation sensitivity, sensitivity to signals, and when they use our products, they no longer have the sensitivity. So is that placebo? I don't know, but it is certainly on the rise. I will tell you that. So
yeah. And I find that the people that are, that kind of have an interest in the EMFs, they're pretty cool. And they're I know that there's a whole lot was calcium gated channels or something like that. The possible effects, and the people that are like say, well, it's not ionizing. They usually are really ticked off about it, and so it makes me, someone like me that's curious, oh, well, why are they so mad about this? So it just makes me research it a little bit more. So cool. Let's see. We're kind of flying by on the time already. It's just going by really quick. I know that we had a lot more that we wanted to cover for this. Let's see. One of the questions I had was with regard to that whole inner layer, and I know that you've brought in some of the fabric there. If that inner layer gets punctured, does that mean that it's no longer protective against an EMP or no longer effective in general?
Yes. So you do need a fully functioning shielded enclosure to actually block the effects of an EMP. So that type of enclosure can be demonstrated with just a simple bag like you have.
Mm-hmm.
Some of our slightly more complicated bags, or the ones that roll over here. If you have a piece of the fabric here, this is our Titan RF Faraday fabric, which is designed to shield essentially from low megahertz to 5 gigahertz with a very high rate of attenuation. So this is the magic stuff here for our Faraday enclosures, the majority of them. If you were to puncture this, it punctures like any other fabric. It's maybe a little bit more resistant, I guess I would say, but and a little bit more tear resistant. Takes a bit of force to do that. So it's not going to work, certainly not, but we do have in a number of our bags, and we have for sale patches. So this is an adhesive-backed Titan RF Faraday fabric piece. So you can actually apply this, and we have videos doing this kind of stuff if you want to look it up on YouTube. But once you actually apply this, you're essentially, and I didn't do it to the whole rip right there, but applied that piece of tape, you're essentially healing the fabric, and you're creating a conductive plane again. So it's all about conductivity. The fabric is highly conductive. It's nickel and copper based on a polyester substrate, and you're continuing that conductivity. So if you purchase our products and you have any issues with that, you just want to test it regularly, make sure that you're not stressing the material, and you can fix it with our Tightener adhesives.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm looking at the website right now. I put it up on the stream. So yeah. And I see that. Okay, you got that. You could get the patches of various sizes. Cool.
Yeah, and we sell a ton of this shielding tape for building DIY enclosures. So if you put the fabric on the side of like a plywood box, like we do in some of our videos, 2 layers. Generally, you want 2 layers of this, and we have some instructions that kind of explain that, and that relates to our testing. But that's going to be the best for blocking EMPs. When you overlap them, you want to put an adhesive because that's going to maintain that conductivity, that conductive plane there. So that's kind of the theory behind it's actually pretty intuitive. You just want you don't want any spaces, any gaps. You want either the tape or the fabric completely covering whatever you're working on to keep it conductive.
Okay. Awesome. So again, I have if you're just joining the live stream now, we're talking to Ryan who's the president of Mission Darkness, who makes Faraday bags. I have a bunch of links in the description box below for their website, their Twitter. Let me see if I can put it up here really quick. So yeah, so you can go to the website. There's a whole bunch of different products that they have for all sorts of different sizes. I use it with a lot of my preps for especially my comms equipment, stuff that's valuable that I don't want to have destroyed for whatever reason. They even have backpacks I see now, so it's kind of, for me, it's been kind of a game changer. I love the hats too. I wish that you guys made a little Kango version of it. I think I'd totally rock it. But
well, maybe we'll call it the Cliff.
I'm down. So let me know in the chat room, guys, if you want to get your own Mission Darkness Kango hat, like my hat. That's part of my branding. So you can go over to their Twitter page, which is Mission Darkness, also on Facebook, and they also have Instagram, the whole 9 yards. It's all on the website, and I put links for all of it in the description box of this particular video. So let's see, we're plugging through all sorts of cool questions. Let's see if there's any ones that I missed, because I know there's a lot of good questions coming in this chat room right now. I wanted to make sure I've seen a few people ask, do you ship to Canada? Is that?
Yeah, I was just looking at the questions too. So we do. Yeah, we ship all over the world. If you want to purchase on our website, we ship all over the world. Canada's an easy one for us. We do that regularly.
Great. Let's see. Here's a random question. Revolver on the road. Curious, newbie question. If an EMP missile is launched in space, wouldn't that also affect all the satellites as well?
That's a great question. I am not familiar with satellite construction and design, but I would believe that based on the radiation experienced closer to the sun and circumstances in space, that satellites are much more hardened to radiation than anything on Earth.
Yeah, and I know that there's multiple phases when an EMP is above the surface of the Earth. Then there's like the phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and it's kind of like there's a blowback that happens north and towards that. So I imagine that it would have some effect towards satellites, but also as you mentioned, they're also protected because the sun's always emitting radiation too. So.
Well, space being a vacuum would affect what's the word? The atmospheric effects that an EMP has in our atmosphere, the ionizing effects. I don't think they would be the same in space. Yeah.
So let's see. We have Tom. Are there any items waterproof, and where do they ship from? So we talked about the waterproof. You guys are located in the United States. Does it ship from the United States too? Or?
Yeah, they ship from Santa Barbara, California. So that's where they're coming from. Generally, it's pretty quick to get anywhere in the U.S. So. Yeah. A couple other waterproof ones that are really cool. This one is really popular. So this is just like a molly pouch that can go on a bag. You just pop it off. It's got full molly. This is our generation 2. What we did in the second generation, it's really awesome. This is 100% waterproof zipper. So before this, I actually was not even aware. It's kind of a newer thing that zippers can entirely be waterproof themselves. That you'll see these types of zippers on like the coolers, Arctic coolers and such. If you close this, I'll put it up close here. That's where it gets waterproof. And this has like a fold out sort of mouth here. That's the Faraday shielding. So you can put radios or anything inside, roll it, close it, and then once you close that zipper, it's 100% waterproof. So this is a really nice option to just throw on any bug out bags or packs that you have.
Well, that's very good. Yeah, so it looks very similar to because I have some waterproof bags too, and that looks pretty pretty identical to it. So we have people commenting, the financial prepper, some fantastic info here. Seems like people like this. Ronnie is mentioning links are all below. Just bought a few items. Thank you. So thank you, Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
We have someone was asking about a backpack. I was trying to find that comment. It looks like you have. There it is right there. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, we have a few more waterproof, but I'm glad your viewers are asking. So yeah, this is our 40-liter backpack. These compartments on the side are not shielded and they're not waterproof. They're accessories. You can put this that I just showed you on it. The main compartment is shielded. This I think is $297 I want to say. It has 2 layers of full shielding on the inside. The construction is really durable. We've upgraded this backpack a few times. It's 100% nylon, really, really solid. Everything's really strong, good hardware. This has been super popular in the prepper community as well. So yeah, that's a great one. Nice handle here you can throw whatever you want inside and make it your bug out bag, your go bag. And then 2 others that are really, really cool that I love are these are dry shield sleeves. So I think these came out late last year. This is a magnetic connection.
Yeah.
It's completely waterproof, contaminant proof, and it's got this magnetic connection. So you can pop a phone inside. I'll just throw my phone in here, show you the size roughly. So here's my phone, throw it inside, and then it just closes really easily. Like you can kind of hear that.
Yeah.
It's really nice and secure. And then we have that in a tablet size, and that can actually go inside the zipper here in the tablet. These have been really popular. So
yeah, those are very cool. Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that magnetic style to it. I see some more links. Oh, this is from Prepper Agenda. Can you see a future that all clothes that we wear should or will have EMF protection? If so, will you develop a full clothing line?
Yeah, great question. Thanks. There are some challenges with integrating this technology into clothing. We've worked with some clothing manufacturers, and we currently do. The problem is you need a fully enclosed container. So if you imagine trying to put this sort of thing into a pocket, you have some challenges because you kind of have like a sleeve coming out the side of your pocket that has to then be rolled. There's a few techniques to close Faraday bags, but basically the challenges make it not a very viable product. Certainly clothing is on the rise, and we do have some ideas for some clothing, but it's a bit more.
Does that mean like the hats then, because it's not a fully enclosed of your head, that your head wouldn't be fully protected from anything?
Right, exactly. And so that's a bit of like, a phone inside of here, it'll completely block signals.
Yeah.
If this were just a little sleeve, a little hat that I put on my phone, like on your head, it's only going to block a little bit. And that's the best you can do, because you can't effectively cover your face all day, every day.
And I know a lot of people like having these kind of protection, like if they have their laptop and they're working on their lap with it, that they would have a layer like that they would protect from that, but it's not going to protect from everything else.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're still getting some protected. You're getting some of that kind of directed radiation protection. There's a lot of fertility concerns and questions surrounding that. A lot of child development concerns. So it's about kind of mitigating as best you can.
I love the idea of like a tent, like for camping or whatever, or a sleeping bag type thing. I think it's with the beanie. I think that'd be pretty awesome.
We do get asked for that frequently. So
yeah,
we have there as well.
Let's see. Just going through some other ones. Ronnie's, my niece is going to love my sister, is always tracking her. Okay, so that looks like some Christmas is just around the corner, folks. And if you're being tracked by someone, make sure you pick up the Mission Darkness products.
We got teenagers here figuring out how they can go to parties without mom and dad.
I'm going to have a lot of parents that are mad at me for this live stream. But that's let's see. Outdoor Urban Prepper Man of the Hour. Oh, thank you. So I saw that Tom. Can you please ask about the warranty as well as my other 2 questions? Thanks, bud. How's the warranty look for the Mission Darkness products?
Sure. So we have a 1-year warranty on everything just by default. That's you do want to register it with us if you can. That's a good idea. But it's a 1-year warranty. If you receive an item, that's sort of manufacturer's defects, sometimes wear and tear. But how long these products will last they do have a life, just like anything, a backpack that you may use, or a bag of any sort. They do have a life, and that material can be sensitive to corrosions. You don't want to keep them in wet environments, and abrasion. But generally, they can last years. So yeah, that's a long answer, but it's a year.
Yeah, cool. I'm just going to go through a few more rapid fire ones because those are always fun. It looks like we have from the Death Keeper 23 shipping to Germany. It sounds like you ship all over the place. So
we do. We ship all over the world. Germany, absolutely. We do have a lot of bags on Amazon International. Yeah. You can find them there as well.
Cool. Yeah, I think that I've always bought mine from Amazon, but I think moving forward, I'll probably just go through the website because it has all the cool stuff there. This one's also about the Philippines. So for all those questions, they ship all over the place. So
yeah, and no special permits to import. They're no issues with that. No special imports.
Okay. Let's see. We have one here for. Does he also sell Faraday cages, or knows where to buy pre-made ones? Thanks. The Faraday cage is pretty easy to make. But I don't know if you guys have little fairly like large cubes, but it's not really a Faraday cage because you guys make Faraday bags, right?
Yeah, we sell Faraday bags, and they are Faraday cages in theory as well. And we have them, we have up to car covers as well. So I don't know if you knew that. That's on our website.
I did.
We do have car covers. That's a newer thing for us. It's really, really cool. So I mean, you could put an ATV in, you could put a car in. I'm not exactly sure what size you're referring to, but our solutions that are available range small to big. If you want to make one, then you can check out some of our YouTube videos for that. So
yeah, I know. If you guys make sure you go to Mission Darkness, I think on your Instagram page you can find some of these car ones. It's basically a humongous version of this that you could roll your car into for kind of EMP EMF protection. It's humongous. I work in software engineering, and we were talking about doing some testing of, and we needed to have it completely isolated. I was like, oh, Mission Darkness has that Faraday bag there. So,
we've sold our materials to corporations to line labs, the government to make secure communications infrastructures. And so we're kind of starting to do canned solutions to that, and that's car covers one of them. So.
Looks like we got our first super chat. So thank you from EDC TV. Make sure you guys, thanks for the super chat, the $20. We're using the $20 to try to raise up funds for a drone for our. He's not here right now, Bernie. He usually helps run the live streams, but we want to get him a drone. And you guys recently, so thanks again to EDC TV. Make sure you guys follow. Go search YouTube for EDC TV. Has a great channel, a lot of good content on there. So thanks a bunch. One of the things that you recently had posted on your YouTube channel, I thought I could play it really quick, kind of like a commercial break before we kind of wrap things up, is we were kind of talking about, can you store drones in these, and does it make sense to? And I think it's a great idea. You guys recently posted a video. I thought I could play just a portion of it really quick. So let's do that really quick. Let's see if I can get you. Well, that was cool. Welcome back from the commercial break. We're talking with Ryan from Mission Darkness. I think we have time here for just a little bit more questions. But that was showing how we could store our drones as preppers. That's one thing that I have a drone for kind of neighborhood watch, and if you want to protect it, you could store it in one of these Mission Darkness. There's a lot of different sizes there. I thought we'd do just maybe a few more questions. There's a couple cool ones that just came in, and then we could start wrapping things up. I know you have stuff to do as well. So again, we're talking with Ryan, the president of Mission Darkness. So I saw the Prepper Agenda had another one. I think I might be hooked on Mission Darkness. Thank you, Cliff. I'm loving the idea that they have car covers. Would you do a custom car cover for caravan trailers or even as big as a tiny home?
Nice.
That's a kind of cool idea.
Nice. Yeah, it's that's great. Thanks, Prepper Agenda. It's really hard to do the bigger covers, so we're just getting into it. There's a lot of challenges working with the material and making them actually effective. I did see someone was asking kind of how we test them. That's the challenge, is understanding, is testing them, making sure they're effective. So the answer is we haven't done trailers or caravan. We could. We've only done the car size or ATV size, but if you have an interest, let us know. So yeah, it gets on the materials side and labor, it gets really, really expensive. So you have to be in for the cost too.
Yeah. So I guess if they want I don't know if Elon Musk comes to you and wants one, I guess he'll make it for him.
We would love to do a Cybertruck cover. No,
that's what I was going to think. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. This is from a fine ass Amy Fresh. Do you personally use the Faraday bags in your everyday life?
Yeah, good question. I do use them for travel. So this is a great one. This is a Mojave Faraday bag. It's more of like a travel-oriented bag. I use this to put my phone in when I'm traveling or in areas where there's a high potential for hacking. I live in Santa Barbara, California, and we're on the coast, and I surf. An interesting thing that you can use our bags for that people don't know, my truck, I have a Tundra. If I leave my keys inside, my Tundra won't close, but I don't want to take them with me. I'll use my phone to open it because I have an app. So I'll put my keys inside of a Faraday bag, close it, and then my Tundra doesn't see it. So it's actually, people don't think about that, but it's a way to keep an extra set of keys in your truck or your car if you want. Just a nice, I guess actually that could relate to prepping. That's pretty cool. You might want to do that to make sure that you don't lose your fob if you need it. But yeah, I use them for different capacities. A laptop bag too. So
yeah. And she looks like a fine ass Amy Fresh. This is very interesting. Lots of opinions. Thank you. I had a question kind of in relation to that. I think this might be my final question, and then maybe I'll take one more from the chat room. But I had a question with regard to when you store your phone in here in one of these bags, then the phone's going to be constantly, hey, where's my signal? Where's my signal? Where's my signal? Is there a lot of testing that's done to see how does your battery really decrease a whole bunch when it's stored in one of these bags then?
Sure. That's a really interesting question because it relates to the law enforcement and military side. That used to be a big concern we'd get from our investigators because if phones die, it's harder for them to get information off of them. The answer that I think the best answer is it used to be a really big concern. Nowadays, what we're seeing is phones are throttling their power based on what they're encountering. So if they're trying to connect and they're not connecting, they're smart. They have technology inside to throttle the power. So it probably will die faster, but not like it used to. It's not a dumb kind of just continue power amping thing. So
cool. That's good to know. So yeah, I haven't really noticed a big battery drain because I use it when I'm traveling or when I'm driving and I don't want to. I do it from occasion. Like, okay, I don't want to have people giving me ads when I go to the Costco or something like that. But I haven't noticed a big decrease in my battery life from it. So
yeah, no, they're pretty smart. They'll stop amping up the power to connect.
Got it. I'll see. I think so again, we've been talking with Ryan, who's the president of Mission Darkness. We've been asking all sorts of questions. So we've been doing this all live. A lot of great questions in the chat room. So thanks for everyone for joining on this one. I have all of the links from the stuff that we've been talking about in the description box of this video. So if you didn't happen to watch it live, you could rewatch it. And we covered a lot of different topics from EMF to EMPs. We talked about kind of government tracking and all sorts of stuff. And then the various shapes and sizes that are available for these bags. The website here is in the link. It's mosequipment.com. And they have bags from all different things so that you could even get hats and blankets. And I really like the idea of these modules like this because I like modules for my bags. So I saw someone was asking about kind of a gray man approach where maybe they didn't want to go with the Mission Darkness backpack because maybe they want to blend in more. They could still have those Mission Darkness modules on the inside and have all their stuff protected, which is pretty cool. So so again, all those links are in the box below, in the description box below. There was one final question that I thought we could go to, and then we could kind of wrap it up. So this was from Go More Hike. I guess the next time I fly, I should give a heads up to TSA scanner about the bag. I imagine the scanners freak out over the materials. Is that true?
No, it's not. A lot of people ask that. The Faraday material, the shielding material, blocks radio frequencies. X-rays are much higher. They're gamma rays,
Yeah.
so they're within the range of what it'll block. You need really thick lead for that. So don't worry. You're not going to get flagged or noticed or anything from having it.
Okay, cool. I guess that sounds like a good wrap up to this awesome live stream. So it was a blast talking with you, Ryan. Again, I'm a big fan of your products. I have been for years. So it's really cool how this dialogue came to be, because I'm just a consumer and I've been using it for a couple of years. I put a video out, you guys saw it and liked it, and now we're talking about all sorts of questions. So
yeah, this has been great. Thank you so much for letting us talk to your audience. Really appreciate it. It's fun for us to do this kind of stuff. Love to do more of it. If anyone has questions, we can always help collaborate to answer them and see how we can help. So
yeah, so anyone that's so I think we're going to wrap up this live stream, but I always look at the chat, the comment section. So after this live stream is no longer live, but hopefully you watch it. If you want to leave any comments in the comment section, I'll try to answer those if I can. And if I can't, I'm going to reach out to Ryan or to the Mission Darkness staff and, hey, what do you know the answer to this question? But again, I think they're awesome products. I definitely think that you should get them. And thanks for everyone for watching this live stream, and special thanks for Ryan for taking the time out of your day to join us.
Thank you. This has been great. Pleasure. Thank you, Cliff.
All right, great time. So again, thanks everyone for watching. Check the links in the description box and make sure you go buy some Mission Darkness Faraday bags. They're awesome. So see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.